Bro, if you give me 10 minutes, I will literally show you how to literally get anything you want. Now, if you don't know me, my name's Kevin. I've been on self-improvement for 4 years, going to the gym, meditating, journaling for 4 years. I've read over 100 books, and I've basically learned how to get anything I want. Like, I became attractive to girls, I became confident, I became, I believe so, I'm a bit jacked, right? I have like muscle, I became intelligent, I became intellectual, I became healthy, right? Because I understand this, right? And if you understand this, you would literally get anything you want, all right? So basically, in the universe, there are disciplines, right? And the discipline is just a field of study. So basically, it's something you learn about, right? So a discipline, for example, is psychology. Another discipline is biology, or another discipline is mathematics, right? The discipline of philosophy. The discipline of, there are tons and tons of disciplines, all right? But basically, inside of disciplines, there are first principles. And these are basically what explain the whole universe, basically. Or first principles. And first principles are just the core fundamental truths of each discipline. So for example, the first principle of psychology is pain avoidance, right? So basically, every single thing we do, like if you strip away everything from psychology, every single thing we do to avoid pain. You just can't break it down any further than that, right? Every single thing we do to avoid pain. The reason you wear a shoe is to avoid, being barefoot and getting hurt. The reason you drink water is to avoid being thirsty. The reason we eat is to avoid being hungry, right? So that's psychology. For example, the first principle of money is value exchange. Basically, every single thing, think of every single thing you gave money for. It's because that thing gave you value. It alleviated your pain. It solved your problem, right? So the first principle of money is value exchange. We buy things, we give money to get value. And value just means something that alleviates your pain. Or in simpler terms, it solves a problem. So we give money to things that solve our problems, right? For example, this bottle solves the problem of me being thirsty, so I paid money for it, right? I paid a couple of bucks for it. Like for example, these plants solve the problem of, me having like a nice balcony, right? These books solve the problem of me not knowing things or me being dumb, right? So every single thing I gave money for, it's because I got value in return. It solved the problem for me. Another example is the first principles of maximizing, muscle and strength are progressively overload, train to failure, eat clean and sleep early. Those are like the 4 core first principles. Like if you put everything away, right? These are like the core fundamental truths. Like if you progressively overload, so you increase the weight or the reps, right? And you train to failure, so you train to the point where you can't lift the weight anymore. And you recover, so you train like 3 to 4 days a week, you eat clean, you sleep early, you will maximize your genetic potential, right? Like that's a fact. Like what's the first principle of women's desire, for example, like girls' desire? It's hypergamy, women always want the best man. They always want the man at the top, the man with, the best genes, the most resources, the man who's like the most jacked, the best looks, the most money, the most status, the best personality, right? The most confident, the most masculine, like the best man. Women always want the best man. Hypergamy is the first principle, right? And I can go on and on and on. But here's the thing. What is the first principle of the universe, of the entire universe? And I critically thought about this for a long time, right? And I've researched about this and learned about this for a very long time. The best answer I found is the first principle of the universe is the law of cause and effect. So basically, everything that happens in the universe is cause and effect. And you're like, oh man, Kevin, of course I know this. Like everything just happens for a reason, right? You've probably always heard this when you're like sad or someone hurts you. Like everything happens for a reason. But of course, everything happens for a reason. It's the first principle of the universe, cause and effect, right? So if you can think of anything you want, right? Anything you want as the effect, then all you have to do to get that is to just do the causes every day over time. That's it. And it's inevitable you will get the effect. So I can give you like tons of examples. Like for example, if the effect is you want to have like an aesthetic physique, like that's like really attractive to girls, or like let's say you're like horny, right? You want to have like a V taper physique, like wide shoulders, narrow waist, like big back, right? Muscular arms. If that's the effect, then what are the causes? So the causes are, first of all, train 3 to 4 days a week, increase the weight and the reps, so progressively overload, train to failure, train the right muscle groups, right? Eat clean and sleep early. Like 6 causes, 6 first principles. So you do those causes every single day over time. So imagine if you trained 3 to 4 days a week, right, which is optimal, right? You progressively overloaded, so you increased the weight and the reps every single time you went in the gym. You trained to failure, right? So you trained to the point where you can't lift the weight anymore, so you recruited all the motor units, right? You recruited the highest mechanical tension you can ever do. You know, you maximized motor unit recruitment and maximized mechanical tension, which is the primary driver of muscle growth. You ate clean, good food, you ate, you know, enough protein, you ate enough calories, and you slept like 7 to 9 hours every single day. If you do those 5 or 6 things for 5 to 10 years, you will have an aesthetic physique. Like it's inevitable, it's guaranteed, right? Right? I'll give you another example. Let's say the effect is you want to be smarter than 99.99% of people, right? You want to be one of the smartest people alive, right? If you, like that's the effect, then the cause is going to be read for 2 to 3 hours every single day for years, right? It's just that simple. Like if you read for 2 to 3 hours every single day for years, like that's what, like over 100 books a year. So in 10 years you'll read 1,000 books. If you read 1,000 books, I guarantee you'll be smarter than 99.99999% of people. Like you will be one of the smartest people alive. If you read 1,000 books, you will be one of the most intellectual and wise human beings on this planet, right? Another example, let's say the effect is you want to be attractive and desired by girls, right? Like let's say you're just like really, really horny. Well, the cause is going to be, like we know that the first principle is hypergamy, so women always want the best man. Well, the cause is going to be you being the best version of yourself. So the cause is going to be go to the gym, meditate, journal, build a business, read books, right? Improve your personality, right? Improve your confidence, be more masculine, be more ambitious. Just improve yourself in every area of your life. If you do that, over time, you will be desired by women. Like it's just biology. It's evolution, right? And that's what women have wanted for hundreds of thousands of years. Like, let's be honest, right? Yeah, so how do you get anything you want? It's really that simple. Like, anything you want is an effect. Find the cause, do that every single day for a long enough period of time, and you will get the effect. You will get anything you want. I promise you, it's that simple. The thing is, no one wants to do it, right? So yeah, this is what I learned. And as always, we're in this together, and we will make it.